All You Need to Know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning. We've hit midweek. Over the next few minutes, I'll tell you everything that you need to know to start your day on the right foot. This is the All You Need to Know podcast from Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 7th of August. Former External Affairs Minister and senior BJP leader Sushma Swaraj passed away last night after having been admitted in a critical condition to AIIMS. She was 67. A 7-time member of Parliament, Swaraj had also served as the Information and Broadcasting Minister under Atal Bihari Vajpayee till 2003. She was also the Minister of Health, Family Welfare and Parliamentary Affairs from January 2003 until May 2004. In the 15th Lok Sabha, she had served as leader of the opposition. The major highlight today is going to be the Reserve Bank of India's monetary policy review. With more economists talking about the possibility of a structural slowdown in the Indian economy, investors will keenly watch for the decision of the Monetary Policy Committee on rates. If the MPC does as expected, policy rates will go down by a further 25 basis points, bringing the repo rate to 5.5%. Almost all of the 36 economists polled by Bloomberg forecast a 25 basis point cut. The government yesterday moved the National Company Law Tribunal seeking relief against Deloitte Haskins and Sells and BSR and Associates in the ongoing oppression and mismanagement case at Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services and its non-bank lending unit IL&FS Financial Services. The government sought an order from the tribunal to freeze the bank accounts of the erstwhile auditors. Indian ports handled more cargo in July over the last year after 2 consecutive months of decline. Volume growth at the ports rose by over 3% in July, led by iron ore and fertilizers, according to investment banker Goldman Sachs Group, who said this in a report. Reliance Industries said it would form a new joint venture with British oil and gas explorer BP to expand its fuel retailing business in India. The venture, in which Reliance will hold 51% stake, will also take over Reliance's auto fuel network in India and its aviation fuel business. The company expects the final agreements for the venture to be reached this year and the transaction to be completed in the first half of next year. In other corporate news, Tata Steel's agreement with HBIS Group to sell a stake in its Southeast Asian business has been called off due to lack of regulatory approvals. The deal was signed in January and would have fetched Tata Steel a little over 2,300 crore rupees for a 70% stake, according to its earlier filing. Subhash Chandra's SL Group is in advanced talks to sell some of its toll road projects to an arm of the country's sovereign wealth fund for about $350 million, according to people familiar with the matter who spoke to Bloomberg News. In international news, Beijing has criticized India's decision to withdraw the autonomous status of Kashmir, which borders China, accusing New Delhi of undermining the state's territorial sovereignty. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan said the move may lead to war, and Pakistan's army pledged to go to any extent to defend the people of Kashmir. China, meanwhile, has urged Hong Kong residents to stand up to protesters challenging the government after a general strike that led to a day of traffic chaos, mob violence, tear gas and flight cancellations. In some of the Chinese government's strongest comments yet on the unrest gripping the financial hub, the top agency overseeing Hong Kong reiterated support for local leader Carrie Lam on Tuesday and said that efforts to force her resignation would fail. North Korea has mastered hacking into financial systems, stealing about $2 billion from banks and cryptocurrency exchanges for its nuclear weapons program, according to a new UN report. In international markets, US stocks ended higher after having had a massive fall on Monday. They paired gains made in the session, though, and ended 1% higher. The 3 early rises in Asia have started the session mixed. The Nikkei in Japan was lower, while the other 2 were positive. With that, it's over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Darshan. How are we looking today?
Hi Alex, good morning. Good morning everyone. While the US markets have managed to rebound, Asia is still under pressure. The SGX Nifty is still indicating a negative outlook, so we may not have the most of positive starts today. But we're in the midst of earnings season. 5 nifty companies will come out with numbers today. So Adani Ports, Cipla, HCL Tech, M&M and Tata Steel. Among the other larger mid-caps, there is HPCL, Lupin, Aurobindo Pharma, Lemon Tree, Siemens, Voltas, Petronet, India Cements and Ramco Cements. In terms of numbers announced after market hours, Indiabulls Housing Finance, the NII was in line with estimates while the profit was below estimates. The asset quality weakened with the GNPA moving to levels of 1.5% versus 0.9%. The high repayments dragged down the AUM and loan. The loan book is down almost 10% over the last year, and the management expects to hear from RBI on the proposed Lakshmi Vilas Bank merger in the next 45 to 60 days. Novelis, which is a subsidiary of Hindalco, came out with strong set of numbers. The strong operational beat was due to the robust US performance. They recorded the highest ever US EBITDA per ton of $588 on auto shipments and tight can market. The management is positive on completing the LS acquisition by the fourth quarter of this calendar year, and they say that the Chinese market has bottomed out, but Europe is challenging. IRB Infra revenues were in line with estimates. The PAT falls on higher finance cost. The EBITDA margin boost is on account of Ind AS accounting, and they have announced an investment of up to rupees 4,400 crores by GIC in the roads business. Zensar Tech operationally weak quarter on account of higher cost. The revenues are in line, but the PAT drops on account of higher other income in the base quarter. Lakshmi Vilas Bank NII was down 5%. The net loss doubles on higher provisioning, and the asset quality weakens. JK Lakshmi Cement, the results were in line with estimates. Margin improve on cost control, but the net profits misses estimates due to an exceptional loss in the first quarter. Nilkamal, weak set of numbers. Revenues down 8%, profit down 8%. Weak plastic division performance dented the revenue. The EBITDA, however, is up 25% on account of the adoption of the Ind AS accounting. Higher tax and finance costs along with depreciation impacted the profit. And finally, Metropolis, revenues were up 16%, profit up 11%, EBITDA up 24%. There is an exceptional loss of 7 crores in the current quarter due to the provisioning for IL&FS. Among other stocks to watch out for Reliance Industries, Reliance and BP to form a new joint venture that will include a retail service station network and aviation fuel business across India. Tata Steel has terminated the agreement to sell its equity stake in its Thailand arm to HBIS Group as they could not procure approval from the Thailand government. Avenue Supermarts will be in focus. Promoter Radhakishan Damani will divest up to 1% stake in the company, and the date will start from 8th August to September 14th. L&T has secured a mega order for design and construction of an airport. So a mega contract is worth over 7,000 crores. Mitsubishi UFJ has acquired stake in several Indian companies due to the acquisition of First State Investments. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you will be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. Well, that's all we have for you on this podcast, but as always, there's a lot more on the website bloombergquint.com, so don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.